Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and I'm going to read your tea leaves tonight. All right, Gemini, we have that Emperor energy. I love to see that. I love to see it. Gemini, you make a great boss. You really do. So when we see that Emperor energy, that leadership, that, really the ability to oversee not only people, but projects, aspects of your life, your domestic life, your family life, all of the places that we need to be able to really show up and know how things work, how to get things moving, right? How to get people in our lives to be able to, do their best and add collectively to, the greater good. So, I would not be surprised, I should say. I wouldn't be surprised if you are the head of the family, if you are, the matriarch, the patriarch of the family, or if you are going to likely be in that position. When I see the Emperor card, it's not always this energy, but I feel like you are the one, and, maybe when you're raising kids, and maybe you are right now, you were the one that was, and listen, if you're in a household with like multiple caregivers, somebody is going to be the not fun one, or at least like a little bit more of the, maybe stern one, or the one that kind of is a little bit of the, and I am that one. I'm the one in my household. I get to be the, strict one, which is okay. I'm a Virgo. I do not mind being bossy. But yeah, I think that you're probably, at least some of the time, in that archetype. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to turn this thing. We're going to see what the tea leaves have to say in regards. Okay. And so I also want to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. It's always such a great honor to be able to bring these messages to you, Gemini. And so also, and I have to say this for the algo, if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And not for the algo, but from my heart. If you have a prayer request or any kind of, you want like healing energy, positive energy, kind of that long distance, etheric hug, put it in the comments. I will be more than happy to pray for you, to send you lots of love. Or if you have something that's a little more delicate, private, you don't like to put your business out there, you can email me at ulaishere@gmail.com. And, okay, let's get started. All right. So the number 2 seems really important. We also are having some wild dreams. It seems like you have been dreaming intensely, even at times maybe having some nightmares. I feel like there is a sense of anxiousness. We have the bed here. We have the person sitting up, and kind of these frantic energy lines. Also the number 73. Okay, 73, and pointing, it looks like, out towards this way. Now, I want to look and see It is a house. Okay, so you're pointing towards the house. Here's the arm, and it's coming out this way. We have the house here. The doorway would be here. Here is like kind of the little chimney smoke. We have a rooster. Okay, so this is an alarm. Okay, this is like a wake-up call. We also have, it looks like, and I want to be certain about this. We have a person holding, it looks like a lightning bolt right here. And this is going to be the Ace of Wands. So we have like a fiery kind of luster devotion. It is on the perimeter of the house. And this is an interior house because we're talking about dreams here. So to me, it feels like there is an emerging aspect of self that has maybe been neglected. And so this is maybe like something that is beloved to you, or a desire you have had for a long time, but is maybe intentionally suppressed. But I don't necessarily think so. I think it's something where like life got in the way. You got distracted, right? You have other things to attend to. Other things take priority. And so I feel this thing starting to emerge once more, right? And maybe this is like, you know, you were 19 years old, you're in college, you have all these big dreams about life and what you want to do and where you want to go. And maybe it's like you wanted to, you know, travel, you know, the Caucasus Mountains, or I don't know, go to, you know, India. Like, I'm old, so this was always like, people always wanted to go, my parents' generation especially, like go to India and, you know, find a guru to study with or something, or, you know, travel around and experience the cultures and go to the temples and that kind of thing, whatever it was, right? Whatever thing that like we dreamed of doing. Me, I always wanted to go, and I still do, to Malta. I want to go see the temples, the ruins of the temples of Malta. And Prague. I want to go to Prague. That's my other big. This is more of my like adult, you know, occultist kind of draw. I want to go to Prague. But yeah, something like traveling, or, you know, I don't know, whatever, painting, or, it feels like something though. There's an exploration, an aspect of deep exploration that is involved here. But I see this thing emerging within you again. So yeah, maybe you wanted to, life got in the way. You got out in the world, you got a job, you had bills, maybe you started a family, whatever, you know, whatever the story looks like. And yeah, you just kind of forgot. It was not, you know, it's something that you maybe spent a good deal of time dreaming about. Maybe you still do, you know. But I see it kind of really emerging, but also being something that becomes more plausible. The closer you're getting to it, the more and more, I might actually have the opportunity to do this thing. Now, why are the dreams coming through so potently? Yeah, because I think it's preparing you, right? Your psyche is preparing you for this opportunity that is going to align with you. And, you know, you have to be ready to some degree so that you can choose, like, what are you going to do? Is this a thing that you want to indulge? Do you still have the same, you know, wants and desires as you once did? Or is this another kind of shedding of old things? You know, there are plenty of things that we think we want when we're 19, that when you're, you know, like I'm turning 40 soon. I think, right? 40, 41. What year is it? Oh, yes, 40. So I'll be turning 40. And yeah, the stuff I wanted when I was 19, I don't necessarily want when I'm 40. I mean, some things, right? And that's maybe like midlife crisis. I'm like, all of a sudden, I really want a lava lamp, right? Do I want a lava lamp really? I don't know, but kind of, right? I don't know. It's that sentimentality that kind of arises in middle age, I think. But yeah, I do. I feel like this thing is coming back up, and I think the opportunity will be there. So be ready for it, you know? The dreams, so vivid, so vivid. And this can feel exhausting, but it will pass. Okay, I see it's not going to last forever, right? Your dreams will return back to kind of a normal amnesia, right? Okay, let's see. So we also have the number 2. The number 2 right here. Now, this one I thought was really interesting. So it looks like we have money sign and then O-R, and then this over here to me, it looks like two people holding hands, looking at each other. And I can't help but think it's kind of like you have to choose where your attention's gonna be. And so I wonder if you're like courting somebody, if you've been talking to somebody, if like you're texting all day, everything that you see, you're like, I need to show them, I'm going to send them a text, I'm going to call them, you know, just constant communication or thinking about communicating with them, you know, you're a little bit infatuated maybe. Or you're getting into that place. And I feel like there is a moment here where you're starting to realize, like, this might be affecting, you know, like the quality of my work. This might be affecting, you know, me being locked in and on my grind, right? And so I feel like there's kind of this decision that you're going to have to make here pretty soon. Like, how much time and energy can I put into this relationship without, you know, affecting the amount of money that I'm making? I mean, really. So it could also be that this relationship is putting you in a bad position, you know, I don't know, maybe at work, maybe with somebody you're working with, maybe, you know, it's something to like, and I hope not, right? But like, you know, sometimes people are in relationships where their significant other maybe is the one that has some issues with, you know, behaving like an adult, right? And causing drama even at like their spouse's workplace. Now, listen, I worked as a waitress or, you know, in the kitchen as well at restaurants for many years. You know, I was in the food industry, restaurant industry, service industry. And, you know, if you've ever worked in restaurants, that, you know, there are all kinds of people that have these kinds of jobs and for a variety of reasons. And, you know, sometimes not very formal. It's not a very formal setting. And so, yeah, you'll witness this kind of stuff. You also witness it in your customers sometimes, right? And so, I wonder if maybe, you know, at times this relationship can get in between your ability to, yeah, do your job without distraction or having somebody, you know, I don't know, like come in the store that you work in and get loud or, you know, I'm sure at times, you know, you've seen Even like where somebody's spouse is like, thinks that they're cheating with people at work or whatever, which, listen, that's where people do cheat the most, I think. I mean, from what the internet says, what the studies say, so, I mean, not a totally irrational standpoint, your fear, right? But, you don't cross that line. You don't go to somebody's work and cause problems or with their coworkers or whatever, right? Unless, like it could affect their job. So I do feel like it really is a place where you might have to really consider, is this particular person going to be good for my money? My ability to create money, to make money, right? And I don't know. Only you know that answer. So, but I think it's something that you're going to have to think about. You're going to have to consider, okay? Now, the last part over here. There's something about, this is kind of a weird one. Something about baseball. And the number, we have, the number 6. So I feel like maybe you had somebody in your life who was into some kind of like ball sport, maybe baseball, I don't know, maybe football, either kind of football, right? Something, but I feel like this person transitioned in the last few years. And I feel like they come around and there's some kind of plant that you see that reminds you of them. I know that's a weird thing, but we often associate people with things they love, of course. So, it's not rare that you will hear somebody say like, a certain flower reminds them of their grandmother or their mom, but I feel like this one for you is a masculine person. They were really into a sport, a particular sport, no other sports. It was just this one sport because they keep pointing at a TV and showing me. They used to like to watch it a lot. And I think when you were young, you used to think it was annoying, but and probably if you're older like me, you come from a time where there maybe was only one television in the house, if that, or maybe grandma and grandpa or whatever, auntie, uncle, were the only ones that you knew that had a TV. And when you went over to for them to watch you, then you could watch TV. But then they always had the sport on, so it's like, you didn't have the access to the television. So it was there, but you had to watch what somebody else was watching. And I feel like for you now as an adult, and they've been gone for some time, when you hear this, I feel like you even turn the TV on or the radio on to have the sport on, even though you have no interest in it. But it is the feeling of it, hearing it playing in the back. It reminds you of being younger. It reminds you of being with somebody you love in a house that, is full of memories. And so I feel like there's something going on right now in your life where you're thinking about them a lot, and you're going to see some kind of plant. And I keep looking down. I mean, it's hard to explain how this happens in my head, but there's like a place, almost kind of like where you're imagining, right? But like I can sometimes see it's sometimes third person, sometimes POV, right? First person. And I look down and it's like by your feet, you just notice. And it's like it's growing in the grass or whatever in this, but it's not, so it's like almost like a weed or a volunteer plant, right? And it just strikes you because it's the plant that you relate to them. And you've been thinking about them, and you know, you've even been putting on the sports in the background. So I feel like this is a very potent moment for you. Okay. Now we also have the turkey. So we have a sense of having to be a little bit serious, a little bit like protective, some kind of situation arising where you are put into a posture of being kind of defensive. And I do feel like it's kind of like mama bear, papa bear energy kind of activated here. So maybe somebody that is your child or you feel responsible for them. I feel like you're in a place where you're going to be defending somebody. Okay. And that comes naturally to you. So I don't think that's a big deal, but it will, I think something's coming up here where you're going to be kind of engaged in this certain way, where you are going to be advocating for somebody and sticking up for them. Now, we also have, again, the number 2. 2 over and over again, it seems like today. So 2 is the number. Now we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. And 37 is the first one. 37. 98. 60. And 60. And we're going to go ahead and do our water blessing cards, affirmation cards. I'm just going to flip through, stop where it feels right. And it says number 12, truth, bliss, catch, falling nectar with open palms, open heart. Oh, yes. That beautiful agape. Okay, Gemini, I want to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for being here with me tonight. It's always such an honor, such a pleasure. Let's see. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. If you have a prayer request, go ahead and put that in the comments. Other than that, I'm just going to say I love you. Please take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We are in summer. We are in winter. This time of year, we need to be checking in on one another. So, check in on your people, see how they're doing, check in on yourself. Make sure that you are, if you're feeling like you need somebody, you want to talk to somebody, make sure you're activating your support system. I know so many times we don't want to bother people, we don't want to burden people, but, we gotta be there for each other. And that means if you need somebody, you need to go out there and reach out as well. Okay. So I love you. I love you. I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.